What's up, everybody? It's the Digital World Podcast. And I'm going to show you this clip of the governor of New York. This is how it starts. You start curtailing your liberties one little step at a time. And before you know it, you look back and you're like, what? What has happened? So, take a listen.
And in the state of New York, we're now requiring social media networks to monitor and report hateful conduct on their platforms. Thank you, Senator Anna Kaplan, and thank you, Assigned Member Patricia Fahey.
But who determines what hateful conduct is? And who's going to enforce it, right? So, as the state is requiring this, they're putting pressure on these platforms to essentially censor information. And this leads, it's a very slippery slope. And like I've been telling you guys, 2022 is a pivotal year, and you're starting to feel the shift of the momentum start to worsen. You're noticing how things are feeling tighter. And it's going to lead to something, and this is what's happening right now. It's going to lead to tyranny. And this, what she describes, is a perfect way of describing everything that's taking place.
They give us all these lectures about climate change and tell me how I can never drive a car while flying in by a private jet and helicopter. They want to increase digital surveillance and digital ID, and yet there they are, hidden behind their own little tiny secure zone. So they want to know and see every single aspect of our lives and monitor what we're doing while they themselves get privacy, because only the rich deserve privacy. And again, they want an open borders policy. That's what they're pushing. Again, they're hidden behind their little secure zones. They want gun control so people can't defend themselves, yet in there all of the armed police had loads of guns. This whole entire thing with the World Economic Forum is so grotesquely undemocratic. It's unbelievable. These are unelected people who are unaccountable to the public, sitting behind their little secure zones within accredited media. And the fun fact about those media is that the people that were the accredited media, so the only ones that were actually allowed to be in there and ask the questions, were also sponsoring the events and also had guests that were invited.
So the media is corrupt themselves. We all know this. The reason we know a lot of information is through channels like this one that tell you the truth and what it actually is for what it is. And so there's a lot of uh, conflicts of interest within these groups, and you're seeing it. It's out in the open.
As part of the conference, not for the media team. So how on earth can we trust these people to be honest and to be transparent and to ask the questions that we need? It is utterly just grotesque, and it was in some remote location in the middle of the Swiss Alps. It wasn't in a major city like Zurich or Geneva, so it was impossible for normal people to get there. And these are the people that are determining the narrative for our lives, and yet here we are. No democracy whatsoever. And it's the same with the World Health Organization as well, with that treaty. And this is why our Prime Minister and your Prime Minister shouldn't sign it. And the reason why our Prime Minister shouldn't sign it is because 6 years ago, 17 million people in my country voted to leave the European Union. And they voted to leave the European Union on the premise that we'd get rid of unelected officials from foreign countries telling us what to do. And that is exactly what the World Health Organization and the World Economic Forum do. So we should cut ties with them because it's undemocratic. Any country that respects democracy will not sign that World Health Organization treaty.
Okay. So what you're starting to see is a lot of these unelected officials are the ones having all these meetings that determine the fate of the whole world. Folks, it's for those people that aren't awake, you got to share the information with them. Let them know. Because this is getting worse before it gets any better. We're headed towards a very, very, very dangerous path. And when you think about it, the farmers that had fertilizer this year for the crops this year had already purchased that fertilizer before the whole Russia-Ukraine ordeal happened. So you have to think about what's going to happen for next year's crops. We're headed towards a very serious time. People may say, "Oh, look at the stores; they're doing just fine," but they don't have that foresight to see what's coming down the pipeline. So get ready, get prepared, get others prepared, because we're all a team. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel. This is the Digital World Podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode.